Top 10 Best Fantasy Manhwa You Need to Read. What do we all love about manhwa? The fact that you can read a story about anything and you will find yourself in it. Fantasy stories, action movies, and romance novels are all genres you will find yourself in, even if it's just for a short while. There are many types of fantasy manhwa, especially fantasy manhwa where the character get reincarnation and a wide variety of girls. Are you thinking of getting something new and exciting? Then read fantasy manhwa. These kinds of manhwa are very interesting and enjoyable to read. Starting off with our number 10, the boss of token exchanging. In a time where QI has returned to the world and various systems have invaded, all sorts of despicable fools dominate the land with their demonic systems, dimensional exchange systems, showing off their systems, and even heroic systems. Despite all that variety, he only has a token exchange system. This is a story of how one trades items for tokens and in turn, tokens of power. Overall, it's really a good manhwa to read out now. Number 9. I became an S-rank hunter with the Demon Lord app. There was a boy who lived in the present age of dungeons. His hunter aptitude was the lowest grade of F, which was a brand and proof that although he was a hunter, his power was not so much different from that of ordinary people. One day, he is betrayed by his friends in the dungeon and left behind as bait to a pack of demons. While hungry demon wolves devour the boy's throat, he despairs of the unfairness of talent and continues his insatiable search for power. And he hears the voice of the world. Strong desire of power confirmed. Starting Demon Lord application. As the visual of the Demon Lord power player, Ijima Hiroto has been selected. The boy breaks through the wall of talent one after another with his overwhelming ability to grow through the Demon Lord app. The action drama of the young hunter oppressed by the world begins. Number 8. The Shaman, Baek Cheoyong. Azusi, can you see them too? I can also see them. The ghost. Shaman Baek Cheoyong, a shaman who turned to a life of depravity as he loses his divine powers and is abandoned by the god he serves. One day, his god appears in his dream once more saying a noble soul will soon appear and will change your life. Afterwards, he met a high school girl named Kang Jion, a psychic with no powers, a student who sees ghosts. The two strike a deal, and here is another one for you people to read. Number 7. Invincible Awakening. The appearance of the unknown black ark caused the whole world to fall into a huge panic, and the lighthouse base which was responsible for exploring the world behind the door was established. He thought he would die, but unexpectedly awakened the SSS-CLASS, which represents wealth and high status. Since then, he has embarked on an unprecedented road to becoming stronger and bid farewell to the mediocre past. So I'm guessing it's gonna be one of those typical stories where the guy gets underestimated and then gains power to beat them. Number 6. Demonic Master of Mount Kunlun. The true heavenly demon served as the young leader of the demonic cult for 100 years because of his father. The cult leader lived a long life. However, after inheriting the cult leader's position, which he did not desire, he died after just 1 year. But when he woke up, he was now a baby. He was abandoned on the roadside, but he was picked up by a Taoist from Kunlun, a sect belonging to the Justice faction. That's when he became Jungwang, the youngest pupil of the Jeongjabe. As he died of natural causes, he didn't have any grudge. He was more curious about a life with warm relationships among people instead of a bloody one. He couldn't enjoy his previous life because he was busy cleaning up his father's mess. So shouldn't he live for himself this time? But he is now a child. After entering Kunlun, he must at least make sure he won't have any regrets before the final moment. Under his influence, Kunlun is gradually changing. This Muri manhwa is really good. Main character is reborn in the Kunlun faction, which is the least explored faction in the Muri manhwas. This manhwa also has some good drama in his first training arc. Main character has knowledge about martial arts, so he becomes overpowered in just a few chapters. He also has a very likable personality. Moving on to our number 5, Retouching of the Night. In the midst of the blue and purple neon lights, under the grey metallic sky, it is the frontier of all data, the aftermath of a scientific revolution, and also the border of fiction and reality. Steel versus body, the past and the future. Here, the outer world and the inner world exist alongside each other. It seems like the wall of time is right in front of your eyes. Darkness gradually swallows the world. But listen, my friend, we cannot use kindness to survive the darkness. We need fire. Number 4. Dragon Squad of the War God. Quoting ancient books, determining Feng Shui, breaking the stone plate, and the death of the god of war skull, the 5 dragon groups took over the 5 strong points but were taken away by the Heavenly Palace. The mythological halo faded, and the immortal code of the alien survivors confused people. Going to the Middle East to grab the resolver, the fierce battle champion Haomu seized the scepter. But the opponent in the chaotic battle is the love of thousands of years ago. Number 3. Auto hunting with my clones. One day, as 20-year-old university student, Sang-woo was lazing about as usual. He ended up joining an awakening program, a system that allows even civilians to learn and use skills. Sang-woo too entered the program without much thought and thanks to it, gained the cloning skill. People around him thought this cloning skill only fooled the eyes by creating illusions. But after Sang-woo realized it's a skill that doesn't create illusions but real bodies, he decided to become a hunter. Afterwards, in front of Sang-woo, who was riding the wave of success with his skill, appeared jumper George Lucas. Lucas, seeing Sang-woo's cloning skill, felt a certain possibility and took interest. Sang-woo, who also felt a simple piece of the massive plan Lucas was concocting, was unable to shake off the uneasiness he felt. Ultimately, Sang-woo, who continued with his hunter activities, ended up learning of Lucas' plan and the true dark secret behind it as well. Number 2. I stole the number 1 ranker's soul. Son Moa, an ordinary citizen who got swept up in a dungeon in the middle of the night. Hungry, she tried to eat grass inside a cave but awoken as a collecting hunter. Somehow, she managed to escape from the dungeon. She came to work determined to never enter one ever again, but caught up in another dungeon. No, why? Twice in this stupid dungeon? Fortunately though, the world's number 1 ranking hunter came to help this time. But turns out that the number 1 ranking guy came here to solo raid the boss. It doesn't seem like he cares about rescuing citizens, so I will take care of my own life. This time, I successfully survived, but I became inseparable from the number 1 ranker. This number 1 ranker is trying to make me stronger. Is this the power of personal connections? However, a sweet reward requires a price. As far as you can go, promise me you will kill the boss of every dungeon in the world. What? And finally, number 1. Return of the SSS-CLASS ranker. Rokon was the king of violence who reigned as the strongest in the virtual reality game, The Lord. Unfortunately, the assassination order issued by an enemy guild caused him to lose everything. To his surprise, the next time he woke up, he had returned back to 3 years ago. Fucking brats, just you wait, I will devour you all. A new story begins as Rokon, who traveled back in time, climbs his way back to the top. This VR manhwa is on literal crack. Main character takes the VR game too seriously and gets reincarnated for not that much of a reason. He grinds a lot to get overpowered faster. He has a savage type personality which is very cool. The story of this manhwa is nothing new, but the execution of the plot is on another level. Art of this manhwa is very good and fight scenes always feel satisfying. This is a must-try if you are into VR MMO genre. Well, that's it for today guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and our list. If you did for real, make sure you slap that like button and get that like button go to blue, and also feel free to head to the comment section and let us know your thoughts about this video too. And as for now, I will catch you guys later. See ya!